jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports,
Yo, big shout out to the hottest chat in the MFing game. A-Side official. No negotiations needed, period. You already know. Jamal Neezy is the first in the building. What's good with it, Neezy? Salute to you, man. I see you on deck. What it do, what it do. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate you. Salute WCS. Salute chat. No doubt. No doubt. Shout out to the boxing queen, Jessica, in the building. I see you on deck this Saturday. Just came on for the fights actually gets jumping. You know what I'm saying? You know, because I definitely want to check that out. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Jessica. I see you on deck. Mike on deck. See you in the building. Salute WCS in the chat, fam. Yes, sir. Shout out to Haynes Legacy in the building. Salute there, Haynes. You know what I'm saying? Still prayers for you, brother. Hope all is well your way. Stickum Boys Fishing and Sports. What's good? Salute to you. I see you in the building. Salute WCS. I appreciate it, Jessica. Jab that like button on your way in. Yes, sir. So let me take care of some other topics before I get to my main topic, which is Martin Bakole out of Congo. All right. Martin Bakole. Hey, I'm happy for the brother. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy for the brother. We're going to talk about him just a little bit later. I just want to talk about some things right quick that's dealing with the topic. And that is Tsyzu. If you haven't already heard, Tsyzu is in the mix with the IBF. He will be fighting for a championship against Bakhram, his next fight. That kind of mixed things up, don't it? Because Crawford was supposed to, allegedly, it was hearsay, rumor mill, that he was going to step and fight for the IBF title if all else works out. But now I like it. It shakes it up even more. Why? Because Tsyzu should get his respect at 154. He was the current reigning defending WBO super welterweight champion before he lost his title to Sebastian Fundora. Okay? So therefore, just like Crawford just fought for a unification, Fundora was able to fight for a unification along with his opposition being the second half in Tsyzu. Tsyzu now will get the opportunity to return for an IBF championship. That is going to line up Crawford, Tsyzu, and whoever Fundora fights. But it gets a little crazy with Fundora, right? It gets a little crazy with Fundora. Hold on for a second. So I want to let you know about this article. My fault. Some stuff going on. But I'm talking about the 154 pounds and the shakeup of the champions. Right now, Fundora is a WBC WBO champion, along with Crawford being the WBA champion, along with the interim WBO. And you have Tsyzu with Bakhram, who's the current reigning IBF super welterweight champion, and Tsyzu having the opportunity to fight for that. Now, the wild part about this is that there's been questions out there about when is Crawford going to fight the next fight. Who is he going to fight? When and who? When the question should be surrounding truly Sebastian Fundora and who he's going to fight next. Why? Because he fought before Crawford stepped in the ring August 3rd. So, from what we've been hearing, is what? He's supposed to step in there with Errol Spence. We don't know what's going on with Errol Spence. We don't know. But let me let you check this out on what Sam Likowicz had to say about his fighter, which to me, it don't make any sense. You know, somebody's acting like they losing a step or two. But he said, we're waiting for the WBO to send us a letter for the mandatory and negotiate, said promoter Samson Likowicz to Fight Hype when asked if Sebastian Fundora could be defending his WBC and WBO junior middleweight title against Errol Spence next. And then it goes on to say in the second half, if you see Crawford, he talks about everyone, but he never mentions Fundora as well as Turki Al-Sheikh. I respect him even though he didn't mention Fundora. He has a right not to mention, but no one got in touch with me about the fight Crawford versus Fundora. Is this Likowicz? Is this Samson? This can't be Samson. Real talk, this can't be Samson. This can't be sane-minded individuals speaking on this topic. This can't be Samson. Because Samson, see, this what I know now. You know what I'm saying? I've been knowing it, but I understand where Crawford's coming from, where he said, these people that talk bad about you be in the same room with you trying to get an interview, and then they'll look you in the eye and say it's just business. Well, Samson was one of those guys who was on a freaking tour. He was on a tour talking about Crawford has a no likable style and all this other crap. He was every turn he get, every chance, every minute he had to get behind the mic, he was devaluing Crawford before he even stepped in the ring to fight for a championship. And Crawford wanted to fight Fundora first. But then he had to turn around and fight Israel Madrimov. Before that time, Samson had nothing good to say about Crawford. So what is this? No one sent me an offer. Oh, you're the second one to bet on Spence. And now you're trying to play recovery. Oh, I get it. Like I said, no problem with Team Ennis, but they took the gamble on Spence. They took the gamble on Spence and crashed out. Snake eyes. Fundora, they was up here bad mouthing Crawford because they was taking it on Spence. And now the Spence fight is not looking or drafting up the way it's supposed to. So now you want to revert back and say, I never received the offer from anyone. Crawford doesn't mention Fundora's name. Why is he going to mention the name? Man, I mean, they must think Crawford's punch drunk or something like, he got dementia or something. He has some psychological issues going down, some mental degradation. Maybe there's the left and right hemisphere, they're not firing up the way they're supposed to. Because I'm not getting how you would expect a fighter to speak on you when you were speaking disingenuous about the fighter before. and you didn't want to fight. You was up there hyping up Spence. But that's what's crazy part about boxing, ain't it? Like the hocus pocus and the backstabbing and the shit talking. I swear to God, like 1 minute the motherfucker talking shit right to your face on camera. To my you are not that fighter. No likable style. And then all of a sudden he comes back full rotation and it may not be shaping up well for them, with Spence. Now all of a sudden they wouldn't mind fighting Crawford because everybody, that's on the hater vision, what I'm saying, all they saw was criticism. So Team Fundora like, hey, that'd be good. Let's see if we can get that fight with Turkey Al Sheik, because the money is gonna be different. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they want to get paid, right? The money's gonna be different. But you over there dogging Crawford out when your fighter said he the best fighter in the world. Now Fundora's coming back around and saying, I didn't look at the fight. I'm not gonna say when I'm fighting because, I'm just not gonna talk about it. Because this, and this, and this. So that whole side over there is not gelling the way they originally believed it was going to be. So I'm not going to take a lot of time on that. I just want to put that out there that, yeah, he's the most wanted. Crawford is the most wanted at 154 because once Tsyzu, if he's able to win this fight against Bakhram, he's going to be seeking Crawford. And Crawford's probably going to be seeking him. And then, Fundora, I don't know what Fundora got going on. They might try to put a Fundora against Tsyzu rematch, which I would like to see. I would definitely like to see a Fundora and freaking Tsyzu rematch because, Tsyzu deserved that. He definitely deserves it. I don't think the elbow was dirty, but I know he deserves a rematch. So I would definitely like to, see what the triangle theory brings us at 154 pounds. But Samson, something isn't right. It's not linking up. It's not firing up. Do you remember what you said, bro? That makes no sense for you to think that Turkey Al Sheik isn't mentioning your name. Crawford, no one sent you paperwork. No, you was all hyped up about Spence. So now Spence may be out until next year. You all are finding out that's the very same reason Crawford left in negotiation with Spence in 2022 because PBC wasn't trying to give him what he wanted. He wanted a fight in 22. They weren't trying to hear that. So he had to go fight Avanesian in December. You all are probably in the same position to say, hey, I would like to get my fighter back in the ring, to keep him sharp. We don't want him out the ring too long. And you're finding out, yeah, you may be out the ring to 2025 waiting on Spence. That's all I'm saying. That is all I'm saying. But that is just crazy how he said, I respect him, even though he didn't mention Fundora. I don't think Crawford has no issue with Fundora. Real talk. I don't talk for him. I'm just saying, I don't believe one bit that Crawford has an issue. Or Fundora has an issue with Crawford. Or Crawford has an issue with Fundora. Samson, of all people, was the one that was up here dogging and talking ill about Crawford about a no likable style. All right, I'm gonna leave that as it may. You know what I'm saying? I'll talk about that a different time, but you get where I'm at with it. Let's look at Madrimov right quick because Israel. Let me show you something. I can show you better than I can tell you. Okay. I can show you better than I can. Take a look at this, and this is via Fightology. All right. Take a look at this. I'm just gonna show you the movement, not the sound and all that. Okay. This is Israel Madrimov, in training. I want to show you his athleticism. Look at that athleticism, that movement. Look at it. Look at it. Nice. Nice movement. I'm impressed. Backflips. I like it. No hand. Sledgehammer. You know what I'm saying? And of course I want to freeze it right here. This is where the storyline needs no writer. You can see for yourself. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to really adjust the ISO, or any of that. What you see in front of you is Israel Madrimov post Crawford fight. And you can also tell that he's been in there with a Omaha gorilla. So if you're looking at his face, he got bruises everywhere. You know what I'm saying? He got touched up pretty good. But they're gonna say Crawford got touched up too, but he's dark skinned. You know what I'm saying? But it just pales in comparison to think that people are saying out their mouth that Crawford really didn't win that fight and he really didn't perform up to standard and all that. Like I said before, I'm not going to go into detail, hardcore detail about it, but you can look, he has shades on and he's obviously looking and wearing the fight. Look at that. Look at that left eye. I wonder who did that. Because Crawford did start out southpaw. Was that the jab? Was that the jab that was touching up that left eye? Was it the right glove of Crawford touching up the left eye? Because he looked a little swollen. All that movement. Like all that movement, where was it in the ring? I'm asking you because Crawford must have been that big of a threat to basically force Madrimov to become a static display, to limit him, to reduce his motion. Dude is athletic. More athletic than I thought. He is very athletic. Very good hips with his movement, all of that. Madrimov is very athletic, bro. But when you go in there with a fight plan against a fighter who doesn't move as much as you, Crawford doesn't move as much as Madrimov. So I'm saying to myself now, like, damn, that's the fight plan y'all came up with? Very limited movement? You just want to go in there and be flat-footed and feint instead of pretty much using that agility that you have to work around him? I digress. It makes no sense. Like, I'm looking at all this. I'm looking at this movement. This guy has very solid movement. Very solid movement, man. Very solid movement. You know what I'm saying? Very solid movement. Crawford came to the post-fight conference with no shades on. You know what I'm saying? Look at the agility of Madrimov, though. He's on a tire doing that now. I don't know if you see that. He was on a tire. Beautiful movement, huh? Beautiful. I ain't gonna lie, beautiful movement. You know what I'm saying? I give him a higher score, that I gave him before. You know what I'm saying? But for him to step through the ropes for Crawford with all that agility, versatility, and just become a static display and fight a flat-footed strategy, that to me didn't make any sense. But I get it. I guess I get it. Shout out to Mr. Golden, the OG in the building. Salute to you. Why would Turkey contact him when he made it clear that they wanted Spence next? Hey, that's all I'm trying to say. In clear English. No translators needed. Why would he contact you or send you any paperwork and you all up here saying the man has a no likable style and you have your focal lens on Spence? That's who you want to fight. You want that contract, but Spencer's not there. He's not available. Shout out to the boxing queen Fistiana in the building. What's good with it, Fistiana? How you feeling? Hold on for a second. I got family came over. Hold on for a second, y'all. My bad, people. Yeah, I had to take care, let family know they came at the wrong time, but it's never a wrong time for fam. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't want them just talking in my freaking live stream. But as I was saying about my dream off, right, was the fact that my dream off had all this agility, all this flexibility and movement. It's in him to be more exciting than he did with Crawford. It's in him. But on that night, I think he selected the wrong game plan as a champion to excite a bigger fight with him too. Because let's just say he would have made the fight much more interesting that night. Then, the fight fans, even the critics, will be clamoring to say we need that fight in a rematch. That's what we need. We need that in a rematch. But more so, him feigning over 25, 30 times in the first round and throughout the fight, it wasn't the most exciting. You know what I'm saying? It was a very lackluster type strategy that he used to go about that offensive game plan for Crawford. Now, I knew they was trying to draw Crawford out of his comfort zone. I know they wanted him to be the aggressor. You know what I'm saying? They wanted to force him to basically initiate so they can try to do the same thing he was doing to Spence. I mean, it's boxing at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? It's boxing at the end of the day. And these fighters and trainers get together to come up with these plans. And that's that. Joel Diaz, come on, man. He ain't no chump. He is a very good trainer. Outstanding trainer in boxing. He ain't no chump. But, looking at Madrimov and all the dancing, the way he look, he doesn't give you that vibe. But dude can move. You know what I'm saying? Dude has some footwork. He has some agility. He's fluent. He has rhythm. Madrimov has rhythm, but we didn't see rhythm the way we're seeing it here, where he could have moved around, kept active with the stick and made it a more interesting fight. He made it more so a flat-footed affair. You know what I'm saying? He made it more so a flat-footed affair. So for me, I'm saying to myself, nah, that wasn't it. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't it. Let me get to Piccoli. So y'all remember, right? The champ who reigned for over 5 years. You know what I'm saying? 10 successful title defenses. Shout out to Andrew Charles in the building. I see you. Salute Alexander. Salute the Sir Senior in the building. Once again, apologize for that pause, man. Had family come over. Thanks galore. Boxer of a 1,000 thanks with nothing following. Can't beat Crawford like that. That's what I'm trying to say, bro. That's what I'm trying to say. Pauline, what's good? I see you in the building. That's what I'm trying to say. Let's stick 'em, boys. That much fame has us all dizzy, ready to pass out, and not throwing enough. It was too much. Comparable to seeing him move the way he moved. It just was, it was not fan friendly. It wasn't something to get the fight fans buzzing and chatting about a rematch with Crawford. It wasn't it. Now he has your belts, and you have to start over with somebody else. Now, of course, I know that wasn't his last fight, but he's 10-1-1 now. What if you could have been 10-0-2? Maybe, what if you would have fought good enough to the point where it was a draw? You know what I'm saying? Let's get to the heavyweights. Not to take up too much of your time, but if you're looking, it's a reason why I put Deontay Wilder and Martin Piccoli. Not to a point where I hope they fight each other. Not at all. Okay? I want you to take a very good look at something. And you say to yourself, Why, oh, why this cannot happen over here in the US of A like they did over there in Congo? See, you have countries that they don't have the amount of sports that we have, right? They may exceed us in other areas, but a lot of these countries don't have sports that they can select from like we do over here in America. But this was the parade they gave Piccoli. He didn't even win a championship, y'all. Now I'm talking about one of the super championships, right? In the heavyweight division. They threw him a homegoing, I mean, a parade, a celebratory parade, just for beating Jared Anderson, who has not established himself in the championship ranks yet. This was incredible. And I'm looking at all Bacoli's freaking, past. I'm hearing the videos that he got out there of stopping freaking, supposedly stopping Daniel Dubois and Alexander Usyk, and that's what I'm talking about. I like backstories like that. I like names to just pop out for the right reasons. And the crazy part about this is that when it was Usyk, what I'm saying, and Joshua, Fury, Wilder, the Bois, Joe Joyce, Joseph Parker. You had all these familiar names, what I'm saying, gathered up here fighting one another. People just want to know the regular name, Andy Ruiz, just all these fighters, in the heavyweight division fighting each other. Did you hear about a Piccoli? No one was talking about a Piccoli, bro. Nobody was showing highlights of Martin. Nobody. He was out there, but nobody was talking about this guy. Deontay Wilder, he loses, a second fight, right? Then you have Tyson Fury. You know what I'm saying? You have Usyk, who become undisputed. So things starting to change up a little bit. Now you have the rise of Daniel Dubois, a fighter who heart was questioned when he thought he got a knockdown. He thought he received a knockdown with Alexander Usyk, and they didn't give it to him, and then he ended up getting stopped. So he had to now come back and prove himself that he wasn't a quitter. So he goes in there and have a tremendous fight with Jarrell Miller. And then he goes back and have a fight with Philippe Perkovic, the rise of Daniel Dubois. What about Joshua? Joshua been doing his thing. He went in there and fought Otto Wallin, and then he went in there and fought Francis Ngannou. Joshua's been around. He was a former two-time unified champion. But there's a slight shift in the guard a little bit. Now you have Dubois, who's young, strong, young bull. He's on the scene right now from his win over Philippe Perkovic. Shocked me. I didn't have no faith in Dubois like that. But he's came on strong. Then you got Jarrell Miller. He has a very nice fight with Daniel Dubois. And then come back and I thought he won that fight against Andy Ruiz, no doubt about it, hands down. But they moved around too much, man. It's just a lot of pushing, a lot of moving around. Anyway, he's back on the scene. Nobody's really been talking about Tyson Fury. Nobody's been talking about what's his name? That's how much they've been talking about him. And what's the hater's name? Dillian White. Nobody's really been talking about Dillian White. Derek Chisora just finished, fighting. He had one with Joe Joyce. So the whole scheme of everything is switching up. Now you have Piccoli on deck. You had the Jared Andersons on deck, making their way up there. You got Torres that's coming up as the prospect in the heavyweight division. You know what I'm saying? You have a change of the guard. But Piccoli has just shut down one of our biggest hopefuls. Stopped him bad. It's not without saying, because we shall mention, in the losing effort, Jared Anderson showed he got that dog in him. Now, there's a lot of criticism that Jared Anderson's going to get. Jared, you was out here just on a whole nother wavelength, getting in trouble out in town, seemed like you wasn't focused totally. You go in here and have a performance, you're dancing up there with a fighter that's a killer. You know, he wasn't buying into the, oh, he's so relaxed and he's so confident. He say, when I put my hands on him, when he feel this power, he's going down. Why? Because he knows his strength. And plus, you have the rumors out there that he stopped Daniel Dubois and Oleksandr Usyk. Dude is a beast. And he got quick hands. I don't know if y'all seen that freaking clip where he shot an uppercut on Jared with the right uppercut, and then came over the top with a right hook. And he only took one step in between that hook, but it was so quick for a guy his size. Unfreaking believable. But the reason why I have this, picture up here, shout out to Congo, giving their hometown countrymen a freaking welcome back, because they went up here and shut down one of all heavyweight hopefuls. So now my biggest question is, so many people wanted to ride Deontay Wilder off into the shadows, and WCS was explaining and telling you all what is going on. Why y'all hate him so much? Why y'all trying to ride him off? We was just, when Deontay started to make his rally after beating Romain Stavern, the Klitschko brothers had a field day as the heavyweight champions. And then we had Deontay Wilder, and all he did was get criticized from his own fight fans. And now he's out the picture. The guy that you was rooting for to put him out the picture, he's gone. He will be back, but he's gone. Not too many people talking about him, Tyson Fury. But who's next for us? Jared Anderson was supposed to be the next. I'm not saying he's done, he's gone. He was supposed to be the next, bro. He was supposed to be the next. You know what I'm saying? Pearly white smile, can box. Technically more proficient, they would tell you, than Deontay Wilder. Doesn't possess that ammunition than Deontay Wilder. But just look at it already. I mean, just look at it, bro. Like, Deontay Wilder, he didn't get stopped until the back end of his career. That's just facts. He wasn't in his 20s. You're talking about a guy who was a late starter, man. He wasn't in his 20s. But how the American fans just ridiculed, criticized, you know what I'm saying? Just talk so bad and ill will. You know what I'm saying? Just spoke of if this man couldn't do anything right when he was knocking cats out, knowing when it comes to the heavyweight division and the sweet signs indifferent, right? As a whole, you're going to get different styles, and to each his own which style they select. And that style may be more of a more popular selection to the fight fans if that particular fighter is winning and winning in a certain way that people like. And Wilder may have had this awkward, unorthodox style that people want to complain about. But guess what? He was giving you the finishes that you look for in the heavyweight division. Deontay Wilder did less than Mike Tyson did when it came to his personal life. You know what I'm saying? He kept his shit clean. to a point. He wasn't serving no prison time. He wasn't out here getting into fights in the street, jumping off cars, and and doing all that other shit. But he is more vilified than Mike Tyson. Somebody explain that. I don't get it. I have no idea. You know what I'm saying? Tyson's been on records, telling this white boy that he make him love him. He said, "I'll make you love me." I mean, but when it come to Wilder, his twerking video come out with him just having fun, and they go crazy over it. What I'm trying to say is, I don't understand what plan you all gonna come up with next. Who's the next heavyweight hopeful in the US of A? Who is it? We're in trouble. We are in deep trouble, bro. When it comes to picking another heavyweight, don't say Jarrell Miller. I like Jarrell Miller, but he would get stopped fighting that style against McCauley. He will get lit. McCauley. He will get lit up like it's the 4th of July annually. 6 days a week. From Monday to Saturday. I don't see Jarrell Miller making it past 3 rounds with McCauley. Seriously, I'm just being honest. Then Torres has a lot of growth to do. Jared Anderson, we got to see what his mind is when he returns back to the ring. In my opinion, he shouldn't get a rematch with McCauley anytime soon. Anytime soon. So we're in deep shit. The U.S. is in another heavyweight depression already. Already, bro. Peep this out. Deontay Wilder, if you go back to when he fought Bermane Stiverne back in 2015, now we in 2024. Deontay Wilder lost his title to Tyson Fury in 2020, pre-pandemic. He fought Bermane Stiverne January. So it's almost 5 years, you know what I'm saying, to the date that he lost his title in February 2020 with Tyson Fury. You know what I'm saying? He was unsuccessful to be able to get that title back in the rematch in 2021. So, salute to Wilder for being able to earn the title in 2015, hold it for over 5 years, represent as an Olympian and as a heavyweight champion, reigning and defending for 10 successful title defenses. He will be missed for many reasons because we don't know who's next. We have no idea who's next. We are in deep trouble when it comes to the glamour division. And see, that's what you all deserve, those of you who was up here switching up and wanted to say, I just want to celebrate the ones who's up here fucking up. Tyson Fury been on drugs, cheating and all that. I mean, he was really treated like crap when it comes down to it as the reigning heavyweight champion because people talked about his skill set as if he was a thief. You know what I'm saying? Somebody who steal all the time. For real, that's how they treated Deontay, like he was a thief. Like he goes around stealing other fighters' freaking, belongings, their material possessions. He's been known to get invited over to dinner and asked to go to the restroom and go in people's bedroom and steal their jewelry. I mean, like you really couldn't find something that Deontay Wilder did outside the ring to place him in a negative light, like some of the people that they chose to celebrate, like the Tyson Furies, you know what I'm saying? all these other fighters that have somewhat of a checkered past. You know, Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua didn't get the same criticism Wilder did when he quit. Wilder never quit, but Joshua did. Joshua quit by last minute replacement. But people don't hold him accountable for that. And they're steadily trying to build him back up to go in there and get a title shot. Now Usyk said to Joshua, yeah, I don't mind giving you a trilogy. No one wants to see that. It's no longer a trilogy. No, we don't want to see that. See, what makes a trilogy make sense is that Wilder and Fury had a draw. Canelo and Gennady a draw. Rematch. That was the victor. And then up the road, they had a freaking trilogy. That's how that works. Alexander Usyk, don't be coming out here to the public and saying you want to give Joshua a shot just because, they're trying to sweeten and trying to basically give away therapeutic exemptions to Joshua once again, who was freaking, protected over there as much as he could. He was protected as much as he could. But you're 2-0 up on that. We don't want to see no trilogy between you and Joshua. But when it comes to the American heavyweights, I hope y'all happy. Because we're going to have to look at a lot of divisions, many of these divisions that don't have American champions. You're going to have to take a look at that. You can take a look at the 175-pound division. Who's running that? Who's running the 175-pound division that's American, that you can cheer on, that you keep in high regard to your boxing conversations? What about 168? Who's running that? Believe me, just answer the question. Who's running that? Look at 160. Who's running that? There's only 17 divisions, right? Who's running that? Help me out. Who's running the 160-pound division right now that we can cheer? Then it gets real good for you at 154 for very strange reasons, centric reasons. 154 becomes interesting now. We did have Jermell Charlo, who once reigned as a unified. Yes. Now we have, other names is there. Okay. Now for 147, yes. We have plenty of names is there. We have the Jerron Ennis's, the Brian Norman Jr.'s, and Stantion's Mario Barrios. 2 divisions, 54 and 47. What about 40? We got Devin Haney. We have El Rayo, Jose Valenzuela. We got Alberto Puello, and then Teofimo Lopez. You know what I'm saying? You got to ask yourself, get a little shaky. And then 35, we got Tank Davis. You know what I'm saying? We have a little bit more clarity going on. We got Tank Davis. We got Shakur Stevenson. Then we have Vasily Lomachenko. I'm not talking about him doing it, but you get the point what I'm saying. When you start getting down to 118, no, it start getting very, very dense. You can't you don't have nothing to talk about because, a lot of people don't pay attention to those divisions. So you say 122, same there. You know what I'm saying? You got to ask yourself, we did have Stephen Fulton there at one point in time before he lost to Inouye. So what division can we start at? 126, 35, 40, 47, and 54. That's 5 divisions out of 17. You know what I'm saying? Which leaves us 12 in the hole. That's crazy. And that's just crazy. I'm not talking about no Bridgerweight and all that. That's just crazy. Just 5 to deal with. But the glamour division is a heavyweight division. And we have some issues. Seriously. Y'all should think about that. We have some big issues going on. NKB in the building. What's good with it? Shout out to Martin King Boxing on deck. MKB on deck with the $2 super chat, man. Lighting up the tree of life for WCS. Hey, man, appreciate your support all the time there, NKB. I know you be around and around this YouTube freaking streets, man. But thanks for showing support for the channel. It's much appreciated, brother. One love to you, no doubt. Andrew said, I was super high on Anderson. I was waving his flag everywhere I went. Bicoli beat him like a red-headed stepchild. No, you didn't say red-headed now. God damn. And that's an old school term. And it ages well, too. Hey, red-headed stepchild ages well. Because every time somebody said it just, I'm all on board the Bicoli wagon. It's a cold game. Man. Boy, you ain't, what you talking about, man? Y'all hear what this man just said? He said Bicoli beat him like a red-headed stepchild. I'm on board the Bicoli wagon, bro. It's a cold game. Man, you ain't never, ever lied, dog. A cold game. Dubois shown a lot of growth and commitment. Hell of a bounce back by him. Okay, let's speak about that right quick when it comes to Dubois. You know, I always like a story where it shows that someone is willing to get better. They're willing to, you know, do what it takes to get to that next level. Not the level he's fighting on. It's one of the premier names now, one of the popular names, but to get to a level where he's beating the top competition. Do I believe, just like Andrew Charles said, it's a cold game? Do I believe on a cold night, the main event is Martin Bicoli and Daniel Dubois? On a cold night, would I bet a nickel on Daniel Dubois for the upset? No way, no how. I can't do it. I can't see Dubois beating Bicoli. Not with that style he got. I'm just going to leave that right there. Now, I'm just saying that in a sense where I mentioned him as one of the fighters that has made strides to change levels. And he's did that. And I enjoyed that fight with him and Miller. I enjoyed the fight he had with Philippe Herkovic. But him stepping in there with Bicoli? Oh, hell no. Shout out to In Conquest. Salute to you, brother. If I ain't tell you last time, thanks for the super chat. Lighting up the tree of life for WCS. Appreciate your support, brother. Real talk. One love to you. I requested action be taken against Team Fundora for making false claims and misleading medical information. Yes, sir. Talk that talk, man. We have to hold them accountable. They have to be held accountable because they was absolutely staging it, bro. Wasn't they, Conquest? They were staging it. Yes, you know. What do you think about a potential fight with Fundora and No, we are looking for Spence, Errol Spence. Crawford? No likable style. Man, get out of here. You was staging it, bro. Y'all was front and center. Like it was a talent show. Bud gonna stop Canelo in the building. What's good? What's good, brother? See, my whole point in talking about this is on the U.S. side of things. In America, we're gonna be hurting for years to come. We was hurting for damn near a decade with the Klitschko brothers taking over. Wilder comes in 2015, beats Bermain Stavern, and reigns all the way to February 2020. You know what I'm saying? Just outside 5 years. So if within that 5 years, the amount of work Deontay was able to accomplish with the title defenses and everything else, and the criticism that was piled on top of him, who else is going to take his place? Who's going to fill those Tuscaloosa shoes? Who? It ain't nobody out here right now in the heavyweight division that's giving us the excitement. You know what I'm saying? The fighter that gives us that suspenseful excitement is Tank. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to knockouts, Tank. You know, people say, "Oh man, that's Tank Davis. Man, he definitely he gonna something's gonna happen." You know, come on, what round he gonna knock him? People making side bets like it's Tunk, like we paying Tunk. God damn it, I'm gonna get side bet. You know what I'm saying? Who got the the highest spade? You know what I'm saying? We doing kitty bets off the main bets. We don't have a heavyweight that's in line. That's making sending them shockwaves. We don't have it no more, bro. We don't have it. So we are already, if you want me to explain to you, from February 2020 to 24, we're already what? 4 years into depression, y'all. We're 4 years into the depression already. 2025 February will be the next. We will be all 5 years. Went by that quick, bro. I don't know y'all been paying attention through all the damn rhetoric that was being laid on heavy for Wilder. But we're 4 years into the heavyweight depression, bro. And it don't show no signs of clearing up. No signs. Who's next? I like Torres, man, the Olympian. I do. You know, it's just boxing talk at the end of the day. He has a lot of work to do before he even stands in front of any of these freaking top dogs out there and be able to show us he can outbox them, outstrike them, outpunch them. You know what I'm saying? He got a lot of work to do. But he got our support. You know what I'm saying? Jarrell Miller. I'm not saying there's no way he can get a title, but he just has to continue to try to get better. Because his style can be just, too much pushing and not enough punches, man. Jared Anderson, we ain't giving up on you, big dog. We ain't giving up on you. But we 4 years already in the heavyweight depression. You just got stopped by a guy that came out, and when it was his time to shine under the bright lights, shit. You know why people are gravitating to Bacoli? Because he has a personality. He has a unique fighting style as a heavyweight. His shit ain't all tight and crispy and dressed up real nice with a goddamn cummerbund and bow tie on that. He in there fighting. And he has a personality. So I can understand, people are gravitating to Bacoli like they didn't Deontay Wilder. It's crazy. And if you take a Deontay Wilder that was back there, let's say Deontay Wilder that was back there, coming up, 17, 2017, 2016, 17, 18, you know what I'm saying? 19, him and Bacoli on deck, we don't know what would have happened. And they always talk about hindsight being a lot clearer than reality. That would have been a hell of a fight when Deontay was doing his thing when he was undefeated. That would have been wild. And people will say now that he would have knocked Deontay out, but that's just the way people think. That's just the way we think. We visual. We can be visual. We can just look at things for what they are based off, especially if it was a shock and awe value. The shock and awe value was that he went up there and did, Jared Anderson dirty. But we also know that Jared Anderson had been getting in trouble out in town, and we really don't know what's going on with him up above his shoulders. We don't know. The bulb might be flickering above his shoulders. He might be on some other stuff, but one thing I can say about in defeat, he had a pretty decent attitude. You know what I'm saying? I want to where's this? Where's this at? I want to read this short article about Bacoli. And shout out to Team Bacoli. You know, I know a lot of people gravitating to him because they don't know him. Once again, a fighter that no one knows, and all of a sudden they're on the Bacoli wagon. But in the US of A, what wagon can we pull up and put our heavyweight champ on? How many years is going to be that we're going to be without a freaking heavyweight champion, bro? I just want to read you briefly. Martin Bacoli receives hero's welcome after crushing victory. This man is receiving a hero's welcome from defeating our heavyweight prospect. You know what I'm saying? It says heavyweight contender Martin Bacoli was welcomed home as a hero by his fans in the Democratic Republic of Congo after defeating Jared Anderson by a fifth-round knockout last Saturday night at BMO Stadium. Now I'm asking myself, why is this man receiving a hero's welcome when Jared Anderson over here in the U.S. wasn't considered a hero? You know what I'm saying? I guess that's a country thing because this country never would have did that. Maybe in his city, maybe in Ohio. That's if he won a championship. If he would have went in there and beat Bacoli, he would have went home just like everything else, you know, with his people and had a nice dinner and that's it. It goes on to say at Boxing News 24, right? Bacoli, 21, 1 and 16 knockouts, made easy work of the previous unbeaten Jared, 17, 1 and 15 knockouts, dropping him 3 times before the contest was stopped in the 5th round. In the fight of the night on His Excellency Turkey Al-Sheikh event. With the win, Bacoli 31 is looking for what's next for him. Ideally, he'd like to get a crack at the winner of December 21st fight between unified heavyweight champion Alexander Usyk and Tyson Fury. But that's unrealistic. I can tell you right now, that's very unrealistic, especially the danger that they see in Bacoli. It says, who's next for Bacoli? They have some contenders' names. Jolly Jane, Joseph Parker. Fighting the unbeaten Caballero would be the best option for Bacoli to get a quick title shot. Now, that's the name I was going to pick. All right? Because I had him beating Frank Sanchez. Absolutely. Caballero, he can fight. I think his movement and everything, he'll definitely have a much different approach than Jared Anderson, who kept moving, staying on line, and getting lit up. It goes on to say Parker would be a good option, but his promoters will likely maneuver him carefully, keeping him away from dangerous fighters until he gets a title shot or a rematch against Anthony Joshua. Risky for Parker, who has changed his style to become a crafty, safety-first fighter who boxes and moves. Picture a retro version of Chris Bird with more power and less talent. That was a devastating performance from Martin Bacoli. The whole heavyweight division is now on notice, said promoter Ben Shalom, reacting to Bacoli's victory over Jared Anderson. Jared Anderson was brave. He showed a lot of heart, but Martin ground him down and finished him in style. That's true. There are a lot of big fights out there for him. The winner of Tyson Fury versus Alexander Usyk. Now, I would be highly surprised if they gave Bacoli a shot. You know what I'm saying? I would be highly, highly surprised if they gave Bacoli a shot that early, just based off taking out our heavyweight prospect. You know? But I'm going to go look at these fights, definitely, because I want to jump back on here later. Shout out to the hottest chat in the MF and game. And just take note to this, that we're going to be hoping, wishing, and praying for a heavyweight contender to come on deck. Until next time, y'all hold it down. I'm out.